The Final Battle in Spirit Explained, part number 7. I say part number 7 because I don't necessarily have an end part to this explanation before I move on to something else. But this is the Final Battle in Spirit Explained, part number 7. I'm going to incorporate a whole lot of 9 parables into this one here story that I'm getting ready to tell you now. I just want to talk about God. And I just want to ensure that your world is entrenched with so much love, balanced love, it'll never be able to look away from it again. Balanced love. What do I say balanced love? What do I mean? A literal definition of the word love, because I go off what things literally mean. I literally love every single one of you on this planet and in this galaxy and in this universe and or this cosmos. I literally love you all. So, the word love, definition of the word love is a state or quality of benevolence. That's a definition of the word love. Another definition of the word love is an intense feel of affection for something. And another definition of the word love is God. Literally. That's what it says. Or a personification of God. The personification of God is what all of you are truly. So, the one I said earlier though, a quality or state of being benevolent. A quality or state of benevolence. That's the one I like the most right there. A quality or state of benevolence. And what is a definition of the word benevolence? See, I go off what the definitions of the words in the definitions are. That's how deep I get into it, into all of this. I go off of what the definitions in the word, in the definitions of what the words are. So, like the word benevolence within the word love, it defines as a disposition to do good. Stick right there for a moment. Disposition, meaning foundation, meaning moral grounds, meaning ethics, meaning principles with an L-E at the end of it, not an A-L, the L-E. Principles, foundations, fundamentals, fundamentalities. So that means love is my fundamentality. Love is my fundamentality. The quality or disposition to do the quality or aspect of a disposition to do good. The quality or state of benevolence, right? So I'm gonna say the quality or state of a disposition to do good. The quality or state of a disposition to do good. Now notice I said balanced love. So that means a balanced quality or state in a disposition to do good. A balanced quality or state in a disposition to do good. Or you could just remove the quality or state and just say in a disposition to do good. You could just say in a disposition to do good. Now watch this. The word balance. A definition for the word balance. Like Burkina Faso, upright men. The word balance means to remain upright and steady. The word balance literally defines just to be upright and steady. Therefore, I desire to force so much upright and steady in addition to be, I said it wrong. I'm gonna piece it together. I got it the way I want to say it. I promise you I do. But let's never forget. Never mind. I desire, I need to, and I have a right to, and I am satisfied with forcing so much of an upright and steady disposition to do good into your reality. I'll never stop trying to do it. Because I'm going to force so much into it that you'll never be able to look away from it again. How? Just by saying how to. I don't have to harm any of you. I don't have to fight any of you. I'm going to do everything that the devil did in reverse. That's what I'm going to do in my lifetime. For the next 72 years from all that I've calculated thus far. I'm going to do everything that the devil has done to us in reverse. Everything. I'm talking all of the information in which I can sense coming from source right now currently. I am going to apply it into this reality in reverse. I am going to oversave the oversaved. I'm going to overheal you. Overfix you. I'm going to say that. Because I don't necessarily want to save or heal, nor do I even necessarily want to fix. I just want to get out of your hell. That's it. In order to get out of this hell, I have to overfix all of you. And after I overfix you, I have to overfix you again. And then overfix you after that. You want to know why I have to overfix you so much? And I have so much energy to do this. I am just burying it right now. Why do I want to overfix you so much? Because the devil overkills you and overkilled you every day. Like Brother Anthony Mackie said in a couple of those in his video talking about how America killed masculinity. You keep on saying America, the title America. It wasn't America who was responsible for the destruction of our lives. It was the authority attached to chaos. Moving forward. But here, the authority attached to chaos overkilled all that it overkilled and then overkilled some more. That's what it does. That's what pure evil does. Evil can only get worse. Evil cannot get better. Good can only get better. Good cannot get worse. Somehow, the devil figured out a way. Well, I know the way now. Studied all the history. And then I have a sense of the source of history and where it's coming from, now that I even know what the source is and how it's coming from there. Nucleic acid, one of the four major compound organisms, one of the four major elemental compounds organisms. So yeah, long story short, regarding all of that I just said, because your world is saturated in hatred, I am going to force so much love in it that it'll kill all of the hatred. Then I'm going to force so much peace in it, it'll kill all the wars. And peace is balance. Balance is peace. Peace and balance are one and the same thing. Want to know why? Because if nothing is disturbing you, you will just remain upright and steady as you were naturally born and destined to. It's coded in your DNA. I just did all the studying. Love is coded in your DNA. Love comes from you naturally. The energy of love comes from you naturally. The energy of hatred doesn't. The energy of sin, the act of sin, does not at all. You are not real evil. You're fake evil. All of you are. You're real stupid and fake evil. That can be reversed. Because in order to be stupid, you have to be imbalanced. In order to be imbalanced, somebody had to knock you stupid or prevent you from learning things. Keep certain knowledge away from you your entire life that you needed to know. But instead, all they wanted you to know how to be was a slave. Which is why you are one. Which is why I'm just going to tell these parables to you out loud, these 9-dimensional thinking mind parables, this 9-dimensional base form parable, this 9 great fathers parable, this 9 divine senses parable that you're all going to come back to after resurrection and revive into, this 9 fundamental elements, or this 9 chakras, 9 chakra systems, 99999, release. After your infinite stage, which is the 888, your 9s are the release. Angel numbers, look them up if you'd like to. So I'm just going to tell you these things out loud in the time frame that I have to tell you them out loud. Why do I want to tell you these things out loud though? Because in order for you to defeat the negative, evil, horrific principalities, BKA the sins of the world, the influential sins, in order for you to beat them, you have to regain awareness of who and or what you truly are, accept who and or what you truly are, the cosmic, true cosmic Christ in which you are. There's only one true God. And then apply this cosmic God, this cosmic Jesus nature that you are, or this cosmic Yeshua nature. Usually I say Jesus first before I say any of the other names because of how much I respect you. I cannot stand that name at all. Just the name though, the person is awesome. And Yeshua's most popular vessel is the one in which saved us from the sky demon. If you want to buy that story, at least according to how I'm reading it in Revelation. It may not have been something so oh my God powerful that went down. It could have just been one serious global revelation that snapped us out of the devil's games. But then it's also too, like, never rule out the simple fact that there could have been something in those days with those kind of powers. And then let's never forget, how was this demon able to utilize those powers to and through us? By incarnating to and through us, just like the King of Kings did. Always remember, never forget, the devil cannot do anything without us at all. But here's the thing, neither can the true God, which is the King of all kings, at least what I believe. I believe the true God is the King of all kings. That's what I believe personally. You ain't got to buy that at all. You can believe whatever you want to. I believe Yeshua is the true God. That's just what I believe. And in this reality called Yeshua, according to my opinion, you don't have to buy that reality is actually Yeshua and Christ rules everything around you, or at least he's supposed to. You don't have to buy that at all. I'm just going to buy it. For right now, at least. Especially for right now, at least. While you all still need names to function properly, you all still need things that came from this world in order to move the way it needs you to move. Not the way you were destined to move, the way this world wants you to. So here, get to know the true God of the world and his 9 base senses in which it gives and ignore he endowed into all of we. And I'm going to tell you through just a simple 9-dimensional base parable. I'm going to tell you all of it in the 9-dimensional base parable. The first 4 things, they equate to what can be labeled and described as moral perfection. Did you ever notice that moral, the word moral is a measurement word? Look it up and see for yourself. I've defined it many times already. But the word moral is a measurement word. And what does the word morals measure? You know what? Before I even say it, I'm going to just say this. There are 3 major key measurement words. And those 3 key measurement words, from what I can label and describe right now currently, there may be a 4th one, but from what I can see, it's just 3 key ones. It's morals, frequency, and quantum. Those are the 3 most important measurement words to know the definitions of before you start doing more further research into who and or what you are truly. Those 3 measurement words you're going to need the most. Of course, the 4 Exodus keywords are morals, principles, standards, and character. But as far as as you're getting ready to dive in to learn more about how to apply even that, those 3 measurement words, the one Exodus keyword, which is morals, then the second one is frequency, and the third one is quantum. Moving forward, though. So, moral perfection. After analyzing the behavior of all of ye who live within this world today, after analyzing your root fundamental natures, I find that there are 4 major human behavioral traits, or should I say 4 major forces of behavior within the world today. Forces of behavior. What kind of force? Any kind of force. You want to know what kinds of forces I see? About 4 of them in total internally. That is a positive one, a negative one, a balanced one, and a quiescent one. The quiescent one, what is it? The quiescent one right now currently comprises of the 9 deadly sins thereof. And the 9 deadly sins, number 1 at the bottom, ignorance. Number 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna just say them out to you. Ignorance, wrath, greed, gluttony, greed, gluttony, and lust. Ignorance, greed, gluttony, and lust. Then you got pride. This is how I like to keep it lined up. Me personally, I keep pride as the 5th one there for a reason. Me personally, you don't have to set it up like this. This is how I'm going to set it up. Once again, ignorance, greed, gluttony, lust, pride. After pride, there's wrath. After wrath, there's sloth. This is how I personally have it set up. You don't have to set it up like this. And after sloth, there's envy. And after envy, there's fear. The most in the way, false, artificial, deadly sin right now currently. Fear is. Fear is the one that's in the way right now currently the most. But the source of all of the most deadliest sins, or the leader of them all, is jealousy. Jealousy is the most head honcho of all of the deadly sins. It is jealousy alone. And jealousy is the reason why there is a fear, why there is a sloth, why there is a wrath. Jealousy is the reason why there is a false pride, wrong pride, have soul pride, for soul satisfaction, soul pride, heart of hearts pride. That's what soul pride is. Soul pride is the God pride. That's the love for God pride right there. No other kind of pride other than the natural endowed pride that came with you. None other. Jealousy is the reason why we have gluttony. Jealousy is the reason why we have lust. And jealousy is the reason why we have greed and ignorance. Jealousy is the reason for all of them being here. All of them. Jealousy is the true root of all evil. Look up what jealousy means. Next. And so, how to beat these things, or the fastest way to beat them? Reawakening, meaning come to the awareness of who and or what you all truly are, so that those things from the devil's people and all of the devil's servants have no way to reach in and change you into something else. Reawakening to it. Or at least it's just the first step, because they still got a way to get in and turn you into something you don't need to be, like the sellouts we have currently. The sellouts are going to be real easy to steal once it settles in properly, though. Reawakening. After that, reincarnation, resurrection, and re-establishment. Re-establish mentality. Re-establish your mentality in this world today. Re-establish. That's how you beat the negative 9 principalities that come from the fourth force of behavior, the quiescent behavior, because those 9 principalities keep you far away from what you truly are, which is the first 2 fused, or actually the first 3 fused technically, because the negative one in its most subtle state would just be considered a force of energy. What kind of force? Any kind of force, depending on what you want to use that force to be. Now just imagine if you were balanced, or if you were upright and steady in a disposition to do good, or imagine if you were upright and steady in a disposition to do good at all times. You want to know what that force would be used for? An attribute for an upright and steady disposition to do good with physical action and movement. You follow what I'm saying? Moving forward. So, that's your 4th one there, though. And the one that you need to be taken out of. I left it a long time ago. Well, spiritually I did. Physically I'm stuck in it, as everybody on the planet is, because the devil runs the world, and everybody on the planet in the world. Remember, we are the soul before we are the people, and we are the people before we are the world. The faster you learn these things, the faster we get out of this hell and go home. Home liberation. Moving forward. So, those are the first 4 things, though. The 4 fundamental human behavioral forces. Now, all 4 of these things, aside from the 9 negative principalities in which are coming from the 5th thing of this story, all 4 of those things in one is the very nature of the King of Kings himself, or itself. That's the nature of the King of Kings. And what is the King of Kings' nature? The force of balanced love. The force of balanced love. It can be labeled and described as the force of balanced love. That's the King of Kings' nature right there. The force of balanced love. Those first 4 things all together in one are the force of balanced love. If you just remove the negative principalities that came from the 5th thing I'm not getting ready to tell you about, they got you stuck in the opposite of the correct 4th thing, which is the space you are in. You are in my space. You incorrect, wrong you. Get out of it. You won't. Okay. Here. More awareness. So, the 5th thing in this story. That's the source of all immoral authority. The 5th thing in this story is the source of all immoral authority. The authority attached to chaos. The reason why the 9 negative principalities have you trapped in the false 4th list, or force of behavior. The 4th force of behavior. The false force of behavior. You know what? Take this with you so I can make this make more sense to you. There are 4 capital things one needs to work on. The 4 fundamental capitals of reality. There are your wants. There are your needs. There are your rights, and there are your satisfactions. Once again, your wants, your needs, your rights, and your satisfactions. Now, what am I getting at? Think about the word wants. What can all be categorized or branched within the word wants? Desires, hopes, wishes, dreams. Those can all be categorized within a want. The 4 capitals, the 4 principles of reality. Yeah. I'm going to say that, I think. I'm going to think that's what I'm going to call it. But your needs are basic necessities, foundational, moral principles, things that are necessary to be in your life. Foundational things, fundamentals. You see, that's what the needs will be. Needs category. 3rd, rights. Those come directly from God, directly from source, which you are endowed with. Your endowed principles. Now, of course, all of our godly rights were altered and stripped so it can be easier to enslave, which is why people don't really fully comprehend how their rights satisfy them, which is the fourth thing: soul pride, satisfaction, or reestablishment, or I am good with this being the way it is, not how you just want to come in and force it to be what you feel like. Not think, feel like. You don't think at all. You just feel like what you feel like it should be, right? Take those four capitals real quick, though. The four capitals of reality. That's what I'm going to call them. Yeah, that's going to be the solid name for them. The four capitals of reality. The four human capitals of reality. Four human capitals of reality. Why do I call them capitals, though? Because it's all in here for you primarily. You're creative, though. If you watch to this point, I'm sure you can think of all kind of ways or all kind of headings or titles you can call it. But right now, I think the one thing I'm come up with is the four human capitals of reality. The four human capitals of reality. Things that are on the to-do list, things that are on the task at hand, things that need to be established in the moment. The moment. The four major, just keep it at capitals. The four major human capitals of reality. Too long. Wants, needs, rights, and satisfactions. Now moving forward. So the fifth thing, now I can make it make more sense as I go. The fifth thing is the source of all immoral authority on this nine-dimensional parable. The nine-dimensional base form parable is what I like to call it. This is what's going to help the resurrection go faster. The nine-dimensional base form parable. So, source of all immoral authority is entrenching us, we, with the nine negative principalities in order to force us to go against our natural moral coding. You see. And the fastest way we beat the devil's negative nine principalities entrenchment is by being aware of how the how the entrenchment is laced within us, what is being used to put the entrenchment within us, and hold up. Okay. And what all we can do to destroy and or end what is causing these nine negative principalities to haunt our lives. What's causing them to do so? Remember, when it comes to the sixth part of this story, which is the oppressive nature's weapon, which is the fifth part of the story, you can call the fifth part of this story many things. You could even call it the Lord God if you'd like to. That's what's in charge of the reality we are in. That's what's in charge of my Yahweh Shai. There's only one God, Yeshua. At least this is what I believe. You don't have to believe this if you don't want to. I just believe personally, I believe that the only God is Yeshua. Why am I coughing? I didn't drink my water properly. I personally believe the only God in all of reality is Yeshua, Yahweh Shai, and all the things in which Yeshua truly is, the cosmos itself, don't even need the names truly. My king don't even need any of the names you all have given him. But I get why he has those names. I get why all of his vessels had those names. Makes no difference. It's still the same life force. It's still the same essence. It's still the same nature. It's still my same God. Hebrews 13:8. And you're all Jesus, whether you see it or not. You're all Yahweh Shai. You're all Yeshua. You are all Yeshua. I get it. Yeshua's name means Yahweh is salvation, and Yahweh is the fifth part of this story, whereas Yeshua is the first four and the eighth. I get it. But then simultaneously, like I said, I have to respect you, because that's all I want to do anyways, is love and respect you at the end of the day. That's all I want to do. So I'm going to use the names to let you know exactly who I am talking about and or who I am referring to when I say the true God of all of the universe is my Yahweh Shai. This is just what I believe personally, according to the things that I've studied. Of course, you may find something different in your studies, or you may feel like something different due to how you were raised to believe and or what you were raised to buy and accept. You were raised to accept that Yahweh is the only God in all of reality. Yahweh is the creator of the universe. That's what you were taught to believe. No, it is not true. The creator of the universe is the universe itself, not Yahweh or Allah or Jehovah. It's Yeshua, or at least his nature. Its nature is the creator of the universe. You can buy whatever you like, though. So, the sixth part of this story is the devil's sword. And what does the devil's sword consist of? Every single so-called white, male, white, female, white child anywhere on this planet at all, or in all the known universe, all of the known reality. They are the devil's sword, being used to attack us the way the devil would like to attack us. Because remember, the devil can only attack us to and through humanity. The devil is pathetic by itself. And due to the overwhelmingly genetically modified so-called white people, aka the non-melanated people globally, who are being used by the devil to pin down the seventh part of the story, which is the most important part of the story to me personally, due to the devil using its 9 principalities to weaponize the 2 billion white people on this planet, part 6, it is difficult for us to live the way the King of Kings desires to live, to and through we all. You want to know why? Because the devil wants to live to and through we all, and not the King of Kings living to and through we all. Therefore, enter part number 7. What is this sword? The 2 billion so-called the so-called white people globally. They are being used to pin down the seventh part of the story. You all say it's about 9 billion people on the planet. Logically speaking, seeing as how these so-called white people are the genetic minority globally, it would appear as if it is about 2 billion of them and it's about 7 billion of us. We outnumber them by quite a lot, but our numbers are dwindling fast because of how many of us that they have kidnapped and how many times they murder about 1,000 of us every week. The only thing that needs to happen to the sword is stopping it and or destroying it. That's it. That's what I was ultimately getting ready to say about that part there. When it comes to every person in which serves the devil in this world, whether you be the handle of the sword, meaning the melanated sellouts, the OG melanated sellouts, OG meaning original genetic or original gangster, original genetic, original gene melanated people, OGMs, the OGM people who are the handle of this here sword used by the devil, in which the so-called non-melanated people are the blade of the sword being used to bore into the seventh part of this story. What is the seventh part of this story? My Yahweh Shai's physical body, or at least a piece of his physical body, because you know he's all of the universe itself. My Yahweh Shai is all of the universe and all of you all in one. My Yeshua, the Yeshua I believe in and trust in and have faith for and loyalty to and royalty towards and serve. Everything I do and say is for the sake of my King and the soul that he understands with our people. All that I do and say is for the sake of my King and the soul that he understands with our people. All that I do and say is for the sake of my King and the soul that he understands with our people. What do I mean by that? The I. Because the I, the third eye, is the conscious mind of the King of all kings. The third eye is the conscious mind of the King of all kings. And it just so happens that the seventh part of this story here that I'm already on lines up with this. No, it doesn't. Earth Star Chakra, positive energy. Root Chakra, negative energy. Sacral Chakra, balance energy. Okay. Solar plexus chakra, space energy. 'Cause that's where y'all heads at right now, currently spaced out, ain't doing the right thing. And then heart chakra. The fifth thing is there. No, it's not lined up properly. It still ain't lined up properly, is it? Say it again. Positive, negative balance. Okay, so I got it corrected. I believe I made a mistake in a previous video then too, as I was explaining this, if this is the case. Because yeah, the fifth part of the story, because the first four parts of the story, they all tie to our lowest selves because of how I desire to have moral perfection take over your lowest selves. Just like it took over me. I mean, y'all the ones that kind of pushed me into the position to do this, so yeah, here you go. Moving forward, here. First four, positive, earth star. Negative, root chakra. Balance, sacral chakra. Space, solar plexus. Fifth, heart chakra, where the devil is attacking right now currently. Sixth, throat chakra, what the devil is using. Voices in a sense too, because remember the sword in my mouth, sword in my mouth. That was the connection there. That's the connection. Sword in my mouth, sword in my mouth is being used, or the sword of the devil's mouth is being used to drill every melanated man, woman, and child alive to the ground and keep you there. Sixth part of the story, throat chakra, Vishuddha, or every white man, woman, and child alive on this planet being told by the devil to tell you all to fail at everything and suffer to death. And you're all following orders perfectly, just like they want you to do, because that's all they live to do is ensure you fail at everything and suffer to death. They only need to be stopped and or destroyed. This is what I'm getting at ultimately. So now the seventh part of the story, which does land on the third eye chakra, if that's the case. The seventh part of the story, every melanated man, woman, and child in existence. All of you, my dear family, I love you very much. The seventh part of the story is God's physical body. But behind the chakra scenes is the conscious mind of the King of all kings. It's all going to connect the way you need it to connect. You'll see. It's lined up where you need it to be lined up at. It's all necessary for you. Next, then, the physical body. And now enter the crown, the King of all kings. Now enter the seventh part, or the eighth part of the story. Okay, it makes sense then if it's lined up like this. Because at first I was just looking at it from the nine-dimensional numbers versus them being just direct constituents of chakras, the stories themselves or the aspects. That's how I was looking at it at first. This is why I didn't have them lined up with the chakras the first time. But lining them up with the chakras, Earth to Soul Star chakra, it may make more sense like this as well. But at first, I'm going to just keep them with the nine-dimensionals then. I'm going to just keep them with the dimensions because let's not forget, the nine-dimensional part is a constituent. The nine-dimensional thinking mind is an aspect of the crown chakra. You follow what I'm saying? The infinite omnipresent dimensional thinking mind is an aspect of the soul star chakra. When you look at them from how the dimensional visions are set up, meaning how many things can they see at once? All things can the King of Kings eye see. All things. But when I line them up with the chakras, it goes a bit different because it goes all the way to the soul star chakra. It doesn't just stop at the crown. But any rate, part number 8 of the story. Enter the King of all kings. Reawakening to the 4 fundamental forces of human behavior. Reaccepting the 4 fundamental forces of human behavior. Applying the 4 fundamental forces of human behavior. And reestablishing what you wish your behavioral practices habitually to be of the 4 fundamental forces of human behavior. Because you're going to use them to destroy the devil or to beat the devil's negative principalities in your lives. Speeding up because I'm running out of time. So, the 8th part of this story is the King of all kings. How is the reawakening going to appear in real life though? First, boot the devil 47,000 yards away once my peace power kicks in, meaning the reawakening, meaning you're going to regain awareness of him. You're going to revive him in your senses. You're going to revive the King of all kings within your senses. The cosmic King of all kings will be revived within 9 senses. And once they do, peace power, boot the devil 47,000 yards away. Next, snatch the sword out, which is the so-called white people. Stop right there. That's the reawakening. Like I said, it's all going to happen in one. As soon as I pull the sword out of my people, the reawakening is done. That's the end of the reawakening there. Then the reincarnation, sword sheathed. My people, come to me. The seventh part of this story, the eighth part will then fuse with. The King of all kings is the entry of the eighth part of the story. Because remember, the eight-dimensional thinking mind is also an aspect of the third eye chakra. But when you line them up with the chakras, it'll land on the crown chakra. And the crown chakra is the nine-dimensional thinking mind. And I'm trying to get you all to a nine-dimensional thinking mind base, remember? So like I said, however you want to see it, it's going to work. No matter how you wish to see it, it's going to work. So here, I am going to fuse with every melanated man, woman, and child on this planet, every OG melanated man, woman, and child on this planet, through the force of love, balance love force, through the balance force of behavioral love. Some of you may look to me and say, no, we don't want to get away, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to look to you and say, you like being enslaved to something anyways, don't you? Be enslaved to love. Because that's exactly what I'm getting ready to bring to your entire world by any moral means necessary, whether you want it to happen or not. And let's not forget, I'm talking about the I part here, the actual me, not me. The actual me is going to dominate your world by any moral means necessary. So here, last couple parts. This is the final battle in the spirit explained, part 7. I'm going to fuse with 7 billion people and sheave 2 billion. I'm going to fuse with 7 billion people and sheave 2 billion. And once the time comes, the devil comes back, step back into the omnidimensional thinking present, the infinite omnidimensional thinking mind, unsheathe the sword, and slay the demon quickly as possible. Or we can play around in the 9-dimensional base thinking mind for a while and just beat it up every day. If you want to, we can do whatever we want when we reach full power, because full power is the King of all kings resurrecting and incarnating through you all. Resurrection. Once you come to your finite resurrection of the King of all kings, that will be your 9-dimensional base mind right there. Then you can transform to the infinite, omnipresent thinking mind. Humanity will be unbeatable. All of humanity will be unbeatable. All of humanity is going to know the truth now. Oh well. And guess what? Since I say all of humanity is going to know the truth, now there's going to be certain parts of humanity that were helping and hiding the truth that are going to realize why the truth needs to be shown. Because guess what? You're being lied to as well. You really want to live in lies for all the days of your lives? I can tell you do, because we are on these lower levels. Shalom, shalom, shalom. May these words reach you with aggressive speed and help enlighten you all on sight. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.